Stop. Before you crack another egg for breakfast, you need to hear this. What if the food you have been trusting for years is actually slowing down your progress after 60? Eggs have been praised forever, but new research shows they might not be doing what you think. A large study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed more than 3,000 adults over 60. The shocking part was that people who relied mainly on eggs for protein were losing muscle almost as fast as people who barely ate protein at all. It sounds impossible, but once you hit 60, your body changes. Your muscles respond differently. Scientists call it anabolic resistance. In simple terms, your body becomes stubborn. It needs more than plain protein. It needs the right amino acids, nutrients, and combinations that eggs alone cannot deliver. I have seen this with hundreds of older adults. They follow the usual advice: eat eggs, try to get enough protein, stay active, yet they still get weaker each year. Everything shifted when I introduced them to 5 specific foods that most people ignore at the store. The difference showed up in weeks. A study from Tufts University found that adults over 60 who ate these protein sources gained up to 40% more strength and balance in 12 weeks. That kind of improvement changes daily life. It can mean staying independent instead of relying on help. So why does no one talk about these foods? Today, I am breaking that silence. I am going to show you the 5 foods that outperform eggs for anyone over 60. The third one is probably already in your fridge, and the 5th one is something people never expect. Before we jump in, tell me in the comments what protein you rely on most. Now let's get into number 1, and it might surprise you.
The first on our list is full-fat Greek yogurt. You might think yogurt is just for probiotics, but full-fat Greek yogurt is a muscle-building superstar, especially for those over 60. Why? It's packed with both whey and casein protein, 2 types of protein that work together in a very special way. While eggs offer great protein, about 6 grams per egg, Greek yogurt provides something eggs can't: a sustained release of amino acids critical for muscle repair. The whey protein in Greek yogurt acts fast, getting to your muscles quickly. The casein protein works slowly, feeding your muscles for hours after you eat it. It's like having both immediate fuel and a slow-burning reserve. Plus, the full-fat version helps with nutrient absorption. For adults over 60, those extra healthy calories and fats are vital to prevent unintentional weight loss and muscle wasting. And here's a huge bonus. Greek yogurt is incredibly easy to digest and provides nearly 20 grams of protein per cup. That's more than 3 eggs combined. Agnes, who I mentioned earlier, loved her morning eggs, but her muscles weren't getting the sustained boost they needed throughout the day. She'd eat breakfast at 8 a.m. and feel exhausted by 10 a.m. When she started having full-fat Greek yogurt with breakfast, just 1 cup, she noticed a difference in her energy by mid-morning. She could make it all the way to lunch without that crushing fatigue. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming dairy proteins, particularly those found in Greek yogurt, led to significantly greater gains in lean muscle mass in older adults compared to other protein sources, especially when paired with light activity. The researchers followed adults over 60 for 6 months and found that those consuming Greek yogurt daily gained an average of 2.3 pounds of muscle, while the control group continued to lose muscle. Don't just eat it plain. Mix in some berries for antioxidants and natural sweetness. Add a spoonful of almond butter or walnuts for healthy fats and extra protein. It makes a fantastic breakfast, a filling mid-afternoon snack, or even a base for a savory dip with herbs and cucumber. Worried about the fat? For adults over 60, healthy fats are crucial for brain health, hormone production, and adequate calorie intake. Studies show that people who avoid fat often can't consume enough calories to maintain their muscle mass. Don't fear the fat in this case. Embrace it as part of your muscle-building strategy. 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt gives you 20 grams of high-quality protein, calcium for your bones, probiotics for your gut, and it's convenient and delicious. That's why it beats eggs for many adults over 60. From a creamy delight to a surprising powerhouse from the sea, this one shocked me when I discovered it. Let's look at food number 2. Salmons. When most people think about fish, they think about heart health and omega-3s. And yes, salmon delivers those benefits beautifully. But here's what makes wild-caught salmon absolutely extraordinary for muscle building after 60. It contains the highest quality protein on the planet, plus anti-inflammatory compounds that actually help your muscles recover and grow. The protein in salmon is what scientists call highly bioavailable. That means your body can absorb and use nearly 100% of it. Compare that to plant proteins where your body might only absorb 60 to 70%. When you're over 60 and your body is already struggling to build muscle efficiently, that difference is huge. But here's where salmon really outshines eggs: the omega-3 fatty acids. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology found that omega-3s don't just reduce inflammation, they actually enhance muscle protein synthesis in adults over 60. In plain English, they help your body build muscle from the protein you eat. Eggs don't provide omega-3s in meaningful amounts, but a serving of salmon gives you 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams. This was Frank's turning point. Frank, 64, came to me after a minor fall left him shaken and worried about losing his independence. He was eating plenty of protein, eggs every morning, chicken at lunch, but his strength kept declining. His daughter did some research and started preparing him baked salmon twice a week. Within a month, Frank noticed he could stand up from his chair more easily. Within 2 months, his grip strength, which we measure because it's a powerful predictor of overall health in adults over 60, improved by 18%. Within 4 months, he was back to his weekend gardening and felt more confident than he had in years. A landmark study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked 2,000 adults over 60 for 5 years. Those who consumed fatty fish like salmon at least twice a week maintained significantly more muscle mass and had 30% better physical performance scores compared to those who rarely ate fish. The researchers concluded that the combination of high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids made salmon one of the most powerful foods for preventing sarcopenia. Here's another advantage. Salmon is rich in vitamin D, which most adults over 60 are deficient in. Vitamin D isn't just for bone health, it's critical for muscle function. Low vitamin D levels are directly linked to muscle weakness and increased fall risk. A 4-ounce serving of salmon provides about 100% of your daily vitamin D needs. How do you incorporate it? Aim for wild-caught salmon at least twice a week. Bake it with lemon and herbs, grill it with a simple glaze, or flake it over a salad. If fresh salmon is too expensive, canned wild-caught salmon is just as nutritious and incredibly affordable. Mix it with Greek yogurt and herbs for a high-protein salmon salad. Now you're combining 2 muscle-building powerhouses in one meal. A 4-ounce serving of salmon provides 25 grams of complete protein, 2,000 plus milligrams of omega-3s, vitamin D, selenium, and B vitamins. That's a muscle-building package eggs simply can't match. Now, from the sea to the land, food number 4 is going to surprise you because most people think of it as a side dish, not a protein powerhouse. If you've learned something new, please do like and subscribe for more insightful videos. Cottage cheese. That's right, cottage cheese. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just another dairy product? Yes, but cottage cheese has a secret weapon that makes it uniquely powerful for adults over 60 trying to build muscle. It's exceptionally high in casein protein. Remember when I mentioned casein in Greek yogurt? Well, cottage cheese is about 80% casein, which means it's a slow-digesting protein that feeds your muscles for hours. This is absolutely critical for adults over 60 because research shows we have a shorter anabolic window, the time our muscles can effectively use protein after eating. Here's why this matters. When you eat eggs for breakfast, the protein is absorbed relatively quickly, within 2 to 3 hours. Then your muscles go back into a breaking down state. But when you eat cottage cheese, especially before bed or as an afternoon snack, it releases amino acids slowly for up to 7 to 8 hours. Your muscles are being fed consistently, which prevents muscle breakdown and promotes muscle growth even while you sleep. Dr. Stuart Phillips, one of the world's leading researchers on protein and aging at McMaster University, has published multiple studies showing that casein protein before bed significantly improves overnight muscle protein synthesis in older adults. He specifically recommends cottage cheese as one of the most practical and affordable sources. A study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that adults over 60 who consumed 30 grams of casein protein before bed had significantly better muscle protein synthesis throughout the night, compared to those who didn't. Over time, this translated to measurably greater muscle mass and strength gains. But here's another advantage of cottage cheese that beats eggs. It's incredibly high in leucine. Leucine is the master amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. Adults over 60 need about 3 grams of leucine per meal to maximize muscle building, and 1 cup of cottage cheese provides nearly 3 grams. You'd need to eat 4 or 5 eggs to get the same amount of leucine.
How do you make cottage cheese more appealing? If you don't love the texture, blend it smooth and use it as a base for dips or smoothies. Mix it with fresh herbs, garlic, and cucumber for a savory snack. Add it to fruit and nuts for a sweet version. Use it as a high-protein topping for baked potatoes instead of sour cream. Blend it into your morning smoothie for an extra 14 grams of protein per half cup. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese provides 28 grams of protein. That's nearly 5 eggs worth, plus calcium, selenium, and B vitamins, all for about 180 calories. It's affordable, versatile, and one of the most underrated muscle-building foods for adults over 60. From dairy to something completely different, food number 4 is plant-based and packs a punch that will shock you. If you have learned something new, please do like and subscribe for more insightful videos.
Now, food number 4 is quinoa. Now, before you say, "I thought we were talking about protein," hear me out. Quinoa is unlike any other grain because it's a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle. Most plant foods are incomplete proteins, but quinoa is the exception. Here's why quinoa is so powerful for adults over 60. It combines high-quality protein with complex carbohydrates that help drive that protein into your muscles. Research shows that combining protein with carbohydrates enhances muscle protein synthesis, especially after resistance exercise or physical activity. Eggs give you protein but no carbs, which means you're missing half of the muscle-building equation. 1 cup of cooked quinoa provides 8 grams of complete protein plus 5 grams of fiber, magnesium, iron, and manganese. But here's the real magic. Quinoa has one of the highest protein-to-calorie ratios of any grain, and it's incredibly easy to digest. For adults over 60 who struggle to eat large quantities of food, quinoa lets you pack serious nutrition into a smaller portion. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that plant-based complete proteins like quinoa, when consumed in adequate amounts, were just as effective for supporting muscle protein synthesis as animal proteins in older adults. The key was getting enough total protein throughout the day, and quinoa made it easier to hit those targets without overwhelming the digestive system. But quinoa offers something else eggs can't: powerful antioxidants called quercetin and camphorol. These compounds reduce inflammation, which is critical because chronic inflammation accelerates muscle loss in adults over 60. The more you can reduce systemic inflammation, the easier it is for your body to build and maintain muscle. Quinoa is also naturally gluten-free and easy on the stomach, making it perfect for adults with sensitive digestion or food intolerances. It's versatile enough to eat at any meal: breakfast porridge made with quinoa, milk, and berries, quinoa salads for lunch with vegetables and feta cheese, quinoa as a side dish at dinner instead of rice or pasta. Here's how to maximize quinoa for muscle building. Don't eat it alone. Combine 1 cup of cooked quinoa with a serving of high-quality protein like grilled chicken, salmon, or beans. Add healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Now you've created a complete muscle-building meal with protein, complex carbs, healthy fats, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds.
1 cup of cooked quinoa gives you 8 grams of complete protein, 39 grams of complex carbs for energy, 5 grams of fiber, and essential minerals, all in a form that's gentle on your digestive system and easy to prepare in large batches for the week. Now we've covered dairy, fish, and even a plant-based powerhouse. But food number 5 is the real game changer, and I guarantee most of you have never thought of it as a muscle-building food. The 5th food is bone broth. I know what you're thinking. Bone broth? That's not even a food, it's a drink. But stay with me because bone broth might be the single most underrated muscle-building tool for adults over 60. And here's why. It's loaded with collagen, gelatin, glycine, and proline, amino acids that are specifically depleted as we age and are critical for connective tissue, joint health, and muscle function. Here's what makes bone broth so special. While eggs give you about 6 grams of protein, they give you virtually 0 collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body, making up about 30% of your total protein. It's in your muscles, tendons, ligaments, skin, and bones. After age 60, your body's collagen production drops dramatically, about 1 to 2% per year. This leads to weaker joints, less flexible tendons, and yes, difficulty building and maintaining muscle. Research published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that collagen supplementation combined with resistance training significantly improved muscle mass and strength in older adults compared to those who only did resistance training. The collagen didn't just help build muscle, it strengthened the connective tissues that support those muscles, reducing injury risk and improving overall function. Here's another advantage. Bone broth is exceptionally easy to digest and absorb. For adults over 60 with sensitive stomachs or reduced appetite, bone broth provides protein in its most bioavailable form. The amino acids are already partially broken down, so your body can absorb them immediately without much digestive effort. Bone broth is also rich in glycine, an amino acid that improves sleep quality. And sleep is when most muscle recovery and growth happens. A study in the journal Sleep and Biological Rhythms found that glycine supplementation improved sleep quality and reduced daytime fatigue in older adults. Better sleep means better muscle recovery, means better strength gains. 1 cup of high-quality bone broth provides 6 to 10 grams of protein plus minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus that leach out of the bones during cooking. But here's the key. You need to make it yourself or buy high-quality bone broth that gels when cold. That gel is the collagen, and it's what makes bone broth so powerful. How do you use bone broth for muscle building? Drink a cup first thing in the morning or before bed. Use it as a base for soups and stews, adding vegetables and other proteins. Cook your quinoa in bone broth instead of water for a double protein boost. Sip it between meals as a protein-rich snack. For maximum muscle-building benefit, combine bone broth with resistance training. Have a cup within an hour after any strength exercise. The collagen will help repair your tendons and ligaments, while the protein supports muscle recovery. Many of my patients over 60 tell me bone broth has been the missing piece in their muscle-building puzzle. It's the one thing that finally allowed them to train consistently without pain, recover faster, and build strength they thought was gone forever. So, to recap, forget the idea that eggs are your only muscle builder or even your best option after 60. We've uncovered the power of full-fat Greek yogurt with its sustained-release protein, wild-caught salmon with its omega-3s and vitamin D, cottage cheese with its overnight muscle-feeding casein, quinoa with its complete plant protein and anti-inflammatory benefits, and bone broth with its collagen for joint support and muscle recovery. The real takeaway here is not just what you eat, but the quality, timing, and variety of your protein sources. For adults over 60, easily digestible high-quality protein at every meal, along with the supporting nutrients that help your body actually use that protein, is your secret weapon against muscle loss and for reclaiming your strength. Quality matters more than quantity when you're over 60. It's not just about hitting a protein number. It's about choosing proteins your body can actually absorb and use efficiently. It's about supporting your joints and connective tissue so you can stay active. It's about reducing inflammation so your muscles can recover and grow. These 5 foods do all of that in ways that eggs simply cannot. Your challenge is simple. Pick just one of these 5 superfoods and try incorporating it into your diet for the next week. See how you feel. Pay attention to your energy, your recovery after activity, your joint comfort, your strength. And please come back and share your experience in the comments below. Frank, at 64, started with just salmon twice a week, and it led to him regaining his ability to garden independently and play with his grandchildren without pain. Agnes added Greek yogurt to her breakfast, and within a month, she had energy she hadn't felt in years. Your story could inspire someone else to take action and reclaim their strength. Thank you for investing in your most valuable asset, your health and independence. Building muscle after 60 isn't just possible, it's essential for living the vibrant, active, independent life you deserve. I look forward to helping you stay strong and capable for years to come.